Good morning, guys. Good morning. Hold on just one second. I'm actually still trying to park. Uh, all right. Ooh. Okay. How are you all this morning? Good morning, good morning, good morning. Wanston, how are you? Good to see you. Welcome in. And who else is here? Unbothered Mimi, how are you, dear? Good to see you. Good to see you. Rashika, good to see you. I appreciate y'all being here this morning. I was rushing trying to get parked because there was a long line at the gate this morning trying to. Oh, you know what? I'm going to. Uh, well, can y'all hear me well? Can y'all hear me well? Just let me know that. If you can, I'll leave the sound as it is. All right. I hope y'all are good this morning. I am wanting to talk this morning about being not enough or too much. The positive pusher, how are you? I'm doing good. I hope y'all had a good weekend. I had a really good weekend. Okay, good. I'm glad y'all can hear. Thank you, Winston. I had a really good weekend. I was so happy that it was Friday and Saturday, and I got to get up Saturday morning and do a women's conference over on the House of X Entertainment channel with Wanston and 5 other beautiful women, and we had a really good time over there. If y'all missed that, go back and check that video. It was really great. True fan, how are you this morning? Welcome. Good to see you. This morning, I wanted to talk to you all about what it's like being in a relationship and having to get out of a relationship feeling like you are not enough. And I wanted to bring this topic this morning because I was listening to something a couple of weeks ago. I think it was actually Halle Berry, and I thought, man, how often do we have this mentality of when we get out of a bad relationship or a bad marriage that we come out feeling like we're not enough, and to hear that coming out of somebody like Halle Berry's mouth, saying how she struggled with the feeling of not being enough, I was like, that is crazy. That's crazy, right? Somebody who we think is just has the ultimate beauty. She's wealthy. She's famous. She just has all this stuff, and people put her on such a high pedestal, and yet she had come out of relationship after relationship always feeling like she wasn't enough. And I thought, how often, like I say, many of us, all of us have had that mentality or that thought at some point that, we're not enough, right? We were not pretty enough. We're not handsome enough. We're not wealthy enough. We're not smart enough. We're not adventurous enough. Maybe we're not spiritual enough. Whatever it is, we always come out feeling like I have to be better, right? There must be something wrong with me. And it's a stinky mentality. Let's just be honest. It's a stinky mentality, and we need to get out of it. We need to get out of that mentality of feeling like we're not enough just because we don't meet somebody else's ideals of what they want for their relationship, for their marriage, whatever it is, right? There are billions of people in the world, billions. And for us to think that, we're supposed to be the perfect person for everybody we meet is just an unrealistic thought, right? It's just unrealistic. We are lucky to find one person who we match with and are compatible with and can spend an eternity with. I mean, marriage is hard, guys. Marriage is hard. And there are so many options out there, right? There's so many options out there. And we all have flaws. None of us are without flaws. So when we feel like, we have to be absolutely perfect or that we're going to be the perfect person for every single person, that's just not the truth. It's just not even realistic. It's not realistic. It really is sometimes just a matter of who am I going to be able to, get along with? Who can I live with? Who can I, work with? Who's going to be a good, partner for me as we make a good team? And whose ideals match whose morals, whose values, whose religious practices, all that stuff, whose beliefs and values are most aligned with mine. And that's where we, sort of start with trying to figure out is this the right person for me? But just because you get in a relationship and it doesn't work out or it ends doesn't mean that there's always something wrong with you. Now there may be some things that you need to work on, right? We all have things we have to work on. Maybe we have some character issues. Maybe we're a little bit selfish. Maybe we are, a little bit stingy. Maybe we're a little messy. Maybe we are a little forgetful, or maybe we're not the best at managing money, or maybe we're not the sharpest knife in the drawer, whatever the situation is. Maybe there could be some things that we need to work on, which is fine. We all have those things that we need to work on. But for us to think that we are flawed or just, not good enough to be in a relationship or to be married, or that we don't deserve to be married, that's the work of the enemy. That's the work of the enemy. And all it does is causes depression. It hinders our growth. It gets us off of our focus. It slows down us reaching our purpose, and it blocks our blessings. Because if we get to a point where we think that we don't deserve love, that we don't deserve being in a relationship, that we don't deserve to be married, then we're going to stop trying. We're going to stop doing things that we need to be doing. And that's just not where we need to be and what we want in our lives. So work on the things that you need to work on, right? If you want to be married, selfishness and stinginess are not characteristics that work well in a marriage. They just don't. So, you have to be giving, you have to be selfless, you have to be loving, you have to be willing to work as a team. All these things that you hear about what you need in marriage, work on those things if you need to work on those things. But just because you're not someone else's ideals of what they want you to be, then it's okay. It's like, thank you for letting me know that, so I can move on and find the person that I'm supposed to be with, right? Be thankful for it. Be thankful for it. Don't always look at it as there's something wrong with me as a character flaw. Another thing is that everyone cannot handle blessings in their lives. Everyone can't handle it, and that's just the truth. Some people think that they're ready for marriage. Some people think that they're ready to be in a relationship, but when they figure out what it really takes to be in a relationship, and they'll run into somebody who is, right, somebody who's done all the work, somebody who's prepped themselves for being a good wife or a good husband, or just a good, person, partner in a dating relationship, and they think, oh, this is what I want. Oh, this person is so wonderful. They have all the characteristics that I want. They take care of themselves. They do this, they do that. But when they realize what it takes to stay in a relationship, they realize they're not ready. And so rather than, accepting the fact that they're not ready, they make you feel imperfect. They make you feel like something is wrong with you. Like, wait a minute. I've been putting in work. I've been putting in work. What are you doing? And so when they find out that they're not ready, a lot of times rather than accepting that, they'll make you feel like something is wrong with you. And that's just because they are not ready to handle the blessing that you are. They're not ready. And that's okay that they're not ready. Some people need that little wake-up call to realize, hey, I'm not ready for all this. I'm like, you deserve more than me. But rather than saying you deserve more than me, they'll just act like something's wrong with you. They'll just act like something's wrong with you. So, that's one of the main reasons why God has to be careful who he blesses, because everyone can't handle a blessing, and everyone can't handle the blessing that you are. And so, it may not be that you're not enough, but it may actually be that you are too much, that you are too much for them, too much for them to take in, too much for them to understand, too much for them to appreciate, just too much for them to realize that what they're seeing before their eyes is actually real, it is actually true. And so, and maybe they're just not able to trust what they are seeing in front of them, and they don't know how to handle it. And so they end up messing it over, or they end up taking it for granted, or they might even end up mistreating you, which is even worse, right? It's even worse. It does not make you unvaluable. It does not make you less valuable. You are, perfectly made in God's image. And our job is to make sure that we're doing our best to represent that image in the brightest light possible that we can. And as long as we're being true to ourselves, who we're supposed to be, who God created us to be, other people will recognize that, and you'll be able to recognize that in others. You'll be able to get into a relationship and realize, you know what, this person is not ready. This person is not ready for what I'm ready for. And rather than trying to make them get ready, True Fan says, yeah, I'm too much. That's it. Yeah, that's it. Let's go with that. Let's go with that. Yeah, you're too much. It's not that you're not enough. You're too much. Um, so, we see this all the time where God blesses people too soon, right? When they're not ready for something, and they mess it over, and they get in trouble with it. We see this with lottery winners, right? They get all these millions of dollars, and they mess it over, and within a year or within 5 years, they're back to right where they were, and sometimes even worse off. We see this with, Olympians and megastars, people who blow up and then they fall all the way down, right? They have these crazy things that happen to them. They don't know how to handle it. No one has helped them through it. No one's encouraged them. When we develop that mentality that we're not enough, when we start feeling like we're not enough, we start doing drastic things with our lives, right? This is when we see people doing crazy stuff, like, going out and having surgeries and, getting lifts and tucks and everything else. And we move, right? Maybe you'll move away from your support system, the people who care about you and love on you, who pour into you, because you feel like, oh, I just need to get out of here. I just need to move to a different city, move to a different place, and we move away from all the support system that we have just because we're afraid that we might run into this person one day somewhere and we won't be able to handle it, right? These are the sort of drastic things that we do that causes us to, when we have this sort of not enough mentality, and so we'll leave jobs, we'll leave wonderful, good, secure jobs because we're afraid that because we were dating somebody that we worked with, or we were in a relationship with somebody that we work with, we'll leave our churches, or we'll leave, try to do extreme weight loss things or makeovers, and just all this kind of stuff that we do because we're struggling with this not enough mentality. And it's just craziness. It's just craziness. So we need to get out of that. Get out of that. If you feel yourself, being that way, if you feel yourself, sort of sinking down into this feeling of I'm not enough, who I am is not enough for me to be in a relationship. It's not enough for me to be married. Get past that. I'm here to tell you today that you are, baby, you are enough. You are enough. God made you perfect in his image, and he makes no mistakes. He makes no mistakes. So don't try to be anything that you're not. Be who God created you to be, okay? Focus on yourself. Focus on yourself. If you have come out of a bad relationship, and I've come out of some bad relationships, so I know that is difficult. That is not easy. It's not easy to refine yourself and to get all those emotions and feelings and all that stuff off of you, and to sort of, get reinvigorated and rejuvenated and feel confident in who you are as a person who is working to be in a relationship. Get confident, find your strength, find those things that you enjoy, just reignite the value within yourself. I am valuable. I'm pretty enough. I'm handsome enough. I'm, maybe I could work on, losing a little weight, or work on my bank account, right? Be a little more responsible with my finances, or, maybe there are some things that we can work on, but that doesn't make us, like I say, any less valuable. Yes, Winston, you are amazing in his eyes. We are amazing in God's eyes. Good morning, Verns. How are you? Good to see you. Good to see you. Welcome in. The positive says too much, too fast, and no preparation. Yeah. That's how we enter into a lot of relationships. We see somebody and we get excited, right, because they look handsome or they look, beautiful, and we're just like, oh, and we're taken back, and we're like, oh, I have to be with this person. I have to get into a relationship with this person, and you just we'll just do whatever it takes to get there, but not thinking where we are in our lives. Are we really even ready to be in a relationship? Are we really ready to be married, or do we just want to, be seen with this person, right? And we've all been guilty of that. We've all been guilty of that. I'm not discluding myself. But then you have to think about, oh, I'm at 7th. Yes, I am. Thank you, Burns. I am slowly but surely trucking along. Thank you, True Fan. Thank you. I'm glad you're receiving this. So, don't be so in a hurry to get, in a relationship or to get married without making sure that you have done the work, There's nothing more attractive to a person than you being whole and you being your full, whole, healthy self, right? Mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, not easily swayed by this or that, firm in who you are, firm in what you believe in, and there's nothing more attractive than that. And when you are that way, you'll attract others that are that way. And so, you'll know that you're more than enough walking into the relationship. You'll know your value walking into the relationship. And so no one will be able to tell you that you're not enough. Or if they do, it just means maybe I'm too much for you. Like, I'm sorry that I'm too much for you. Yes, thank you, Positive. Please, if you can, hit the like button. Thank you, Burns, for sharing me out. I appreciate that so much too. So that's what I really wanted you all to have a good understanding of this morning, is to know that, get away from that stinking mentality of you not being enough, and know that you just may be too much for them to handle, too much for them to appreciate, and too much for them to know what to even do with and how to love. So take that in this morning. Shift your thoughts with where you are. Do a self-assessment, figure out where you are, what you're struggling with, work on those things. The most successful people in the world are always working on themselves. We're always working on, trying to be better and trying to improve our lives, but not because we feel that we're not enough, just because we're trying to be our best selves. We're just trying to be our best selves and bring 100%, 110% to the table of whatever we do and however we show up in the world. And that's just the mentality of successful people. That's just what it is. So let's see. Dominant Men, how are you? Hello. Okay, well, thank you so much. Thank you so much. I appreciate you being here this morning. So, yeah, keep that in your thoughts this morning. I'm going to say a quick prayer, and then I'm going to head off to work, all right? So, Father, thank you for this day. Thank you for the people who have come in this morning, for those out there who are struggling with the mentality of feeling like they are not enough. If they've come off a bad relationship and they're feeling depressed and they're feeling like they want to make some drastic changes in their lives, remind them that they're enough. Remind them that were perfectly and beautifully made in your image. And our responsibility is to just be our best selves. So, Father, help them to work on the areas where they know they need work on, but help them to feel confident in who they are. Father, we don't need others to validate us and to remind us of our value. You show us our value each and every day. You told us we were valuable when you died for us on the cross, and that's all we need to know how valuable we are. We don't have to look for validation in others. So, Father, just touch each and every person. Help them to be their best selves. Help us to walk in confidence in who we are and who you created us to be, and even as we enter into relationships or into marriages, so that we can appreciate ourselves and know our value and be confident. Father, we love you. We thank you. We bless your name. These things I ask in your Son, Jesus' name. Amen. All right, guys, I'm getting ready to head out. Thank you so much. I appreciate the welcome to the Talk family. I love you all, and I hope that I will see you all again on Wednesday. I'll have a tip coming out tomorrow, and then we'll be back here on Wednesday for another pep talk, and I believe that one is Stop the Ripples. Stop the Ripples. All right. Take care. Y'all have a wonderful day. Bye.